You're listening to The Western Rookie, a hunting podcast full of tips, tricks, and strategies from seasoned Western hunters. There are plenty of opportunities out there. We just need to learn how to take on the challenges.
Hunting is completely different up there.
I've harvested 26 big game animals.
You can fool their eyes, but you can't fool their nose.
300 yards back to the road turned into 3 miles back the other way.
It's always cool seeing new hunters go and harvest an animal.
I don't know what to expect.
If there's anybody I want in the woods with me, it'll be you.
Welcome back to another Western Rookie podcast episode brought to you by GOHUNT. Like always, I'm your host, Brian Krebs. But we've got a new episode that we're doing today. It's going to be a great new episode. It's going to be an annual thing we're going to be doing here. It is the initial Western Rookie annual Christmas episode. That's right. It's a Christmas episode. It is not Happy Holidays. It's not Season's Greetings. This is Christmas, man. That's what I believe in, and I think a lot of the listeners believe in it, so we're going to go with it. And what I want to do is we're going to do a special episode for everyone out there that has an outdoorsman or outdoorswoman in their life that they're like, man, I just can't figure out what to get this person for Christmas. One of the problems when you're shopping for someone that has, hunting and fishing hobbies is, all of us that love hunting and fishing, we generally have the gear we use. We have a lot of gear. If we need something, we go out and get it. And while that's not bad, it can be really hard if you're in a position where you're shopping for someone. I know that, for myself, I have a lot of gear, so my family's always like, well, what should we get Brian? And so I've got a whole pile of items that I've already thought through for Christmas ideas. For anyone out there, you got a hunter, whether we got bow hunters, rifle hunters, I threw in some whitetail, I threw in a bunch of general hunting. So no matter who you're shopping for, these are going to be ideas that you can really get anyone. That's what I wanted to go with for this episode. A lot of people have very specific pieces of gear. Bow hunting, for example, you can't just go get someone some new arrows, right? Because they have a very specific arrow for their bow setup. You can't just go buy someone a new bow because they have a specific size and they probably got a specific bow in mind. You could get, if you're thinking of like your husband or wife, you could sure get them a gift card and say, hey, I'm going to buy you a bow, but we got to go to the shop and find it. These are going to be ideas that are more for the other pieces of gear. They can fit in with almost anyone's system. So that way it's a lot easier for you to pick something. You don't have to know exactly everything they have. Some of them you got to know a couple things. Also, these are ideas from $10 up to maybe $250, right? So you might be shopping for your uncle for a white Secret Santa or a dice game gift, and you're like, I don't want to spend $200. He likes to hunt, but it seems like everything's $200, and that's like way out of the budget. So I got ideas on here that are as low as $10, and I've got ideas. Maybe you're shopping for your husband, maybe you're shopping for your dad, your brother, your wife, your mom, whoever it is that are like, you know what, we usually spend a little bit more. I got some ideas there too. That doesn't include buying a rifle or buying a scope or buying a bow, because all of those things, like I said, are going to be so specific. And I'm going to try a new thing. I'm going to be sharing a lot of the pictures online. Most of these items I've used before. They're all spread out between the shop, the hunting room, my gear, my truck. And I just didn't have time to go wrap all these things together and bring them into the studio. So I'm going to be sharing a lot. So if you're driving, you might not be able to see the pictures, but we'll put this up on YouTube. We'll put shorts on there. So go find it. We'll also put links to a lot of these items in the show notes as well. So with that, let's kick it off. First thing that we have up, I'm going to share what I'm looking at here. Share a window, share an entire screen. I'm going with, boom. Is it up? It's live. All right. Item number 1, the GOHUNT Tyvek gear bags. Now, you're going to see a theme here. A lot of the things that we're sharing are with the GOHUNT. There's a couple reasons for that. Number 1, GOHUNT has a lot of quality gear. That's what they're there for. They put together in the gear shop all of the best gear you could possibly need or want for Western hunting. So a lot of things are coming from GOHUNT. Secondly, yes, they're a partner of the show. They support us. I support them. But it does not take away from the fact that some of these pieces are incredibly high value. So I just want to put that out there. We also have a discount at GOHUNT. And so obviously I'm going to be trying to find ways for you guys to save money as well. And we have the Western code. So if you go to the GOHUNT Gear Shop and use the code Western, you're going to save, I believe, 10% on all normal price or most of the normal priced items in the gear shop. So if it's on sale already, it might not work, but if it's regular price, you're going to save a little bit of money. So it's really a win-win-win. It helps GOHUNT, it helps me, it helps you. But number one is these GOHUNT Tyvek gear bags. Now, I own these. They come in a couple different colors. I'm showing the white. These are, you might think of like Tyvek, isn't that the stuff they build houses with? I don't know if that's good, or if that's what I want. These bags are phenomenal. It is a Tyvek material, but it's also, it's made really well. It's really lightweight. One of the things, it's a beautiful blend between lightweight and rugged, meaning, a lot of lightweight bags are cheap. They fall apart, zippers break, all that stuff. These are lightweight, but they're super rugged. You feel it. It's tough. We used these on our antelope hunt. We put some gear in these. I have a bag that's set up with like whitetail stuff too. So I'm putting in like screw-in steps and bow hangers, things with sharp points. I'm throwing them in there and it's holding up really well. So I love them. One of the best things about these is you can pick either the small, medium, or large. The small is $12.99 and it's 20% off right now for the Black Friday deals. Or you can get a 3-pack for $35. So it's a real good option that's very usable. If you have an outdoorsman that you're shopping for or a woman that loves the outdoors, these will easily be able to be used for so many different things. You can put your game bags in them. You can put your emergency kit in them. You can throw them in your truck with a bunch of odds and ends so they don't just scatter all underneath the seat of your pickup. No matter who you're shopping for, these could be used and they will be loved. Great item for anyone. I really, really like them. They come in white. I've seen them in black. I've seen them in orange. I have a black one and an orange one. I actually, these are on my Christmas list this year. I just put in an order. So I can't tell you who they're for because they might listen to the podcast. I want to wreck that Christmas idea for them. But that's a great option for no matter who you're shopping for. Another one, and I threw this one in early because I wanted to make sure we touch on it, a My Medic kit. You can also find these in the GOHUNT Gear Shop, so you can use, we're seeing Black Friday pricing. This is going to come out a little bit late. Obviously, one of the things we're going to do next year is do the Christmas episode before Black Friday week. Another good medium option. You maybe got a brother, a cousin, a sister, fiance, sister-in-law, who knows? It's like $50 to $75. They have a couple different sizes for the My Medic kits, but this kit is great because number one, if someone that you have in your life, you want them to come home from hunting, right? You want them to come home from the mountains. You want them to be safe. So if they don't have any type of emergency kit or medical kit, this is a great starter because it's got all of the standard stuff you need in there. You got bandages, you got wraps, you've got antibiotic, you've got gloves, lots of great stuff. Already loaded up in there, and you can look through the different options and see which size is the best. Or if, like myself, I've kind of put together a few things over the years, but you got to keep that stuff replaced and replenished. Great one-stop shop. Comes in a nice case. You can throw it right in your pack, and you know you're good. So another really good option. Also, you can use the code Western for this product as well if you don't get to it until the sale is over. So that's a good option. Just right out of the back, safety is important. The next one I'm really excited about, the Randy Newberg EBS knife. I will say this is the best knife I have ever seen or used for Western hunting. I have this knife. I switched to this knife 4 years ago, and I've never looked back. So this EBS knife stands for Exchange Blade System. It's not a replaceable blade. That blade on that knife is the same stiffness, the same thickness, and the same ruggedness that you'll find in any of your like fixed hunting knives. It's like that thick steel. The difference is you can exchange it. So there comes with 3 different blades. You have like a longer blade, you have a shorter blade, and you have a serrated blade. And what's nice about this is if you've ever quartered an animal, if you've ever skinned an animal. Hey folks, application season is finally wrapped up, and I hope each and every one of you has a tag for this fall. And by now, you should be starting to think about your e-scouting plans. I'm working on mine as we speak for my Western hunts, and it's actually one of my favorite parts of the entire season, and that's because of GOHUNT Insider. GOHUNT has everything I need to plan an amazing experience this fall. I always start with filtering 2.0 to read up on what my unit has to offer, what the access is like, what the local buzz is. I look at the trophy potential and the harvest rates, and I take all of that information from filtering 2.0 and I move over to GOHUNT Maps, and that is where things get exciting. I'm finding glassing knobs with the 3D mapping features. I'm using the terrain analysis, something that's new you might not have seen yet, where I can look at slopes. I can see which slope is facing which directions, how steep it is, what the elevation is. It's a super cool feature, and it's helping me plan out my routes. I turn on all the water layers, making sure I understand where springs and guzzlers are, where there's creek beds. I'm looking at access points, roadways, you name it. They have it for planning an awesome hunt. I'm storing all of that information in a single hunt plan so I can keep all of my information organized and there's not a bunch of icons on my screen every time I open up my app. There's a reason why I've used GOHUNT Insider to do my e-scouting and plan every single Western hunt I've ever gone on. And it's because it is truly the best resource for the Western hunter. Head over to GOHUNT.com and check out all the tools and resources you get with your Insider membership, and you'll see why it's my favorite tool for punching tags. And the best part is, when you use the code WESTERN, they're going to give you $50. That's right, they're going to give you a $50 credit to the gear shop that has some of the best hunting and backpacking gear on the market. So no matter if you're a brand new hunter or a Western veteran, I promise you there's something in the gear shop that'll catch your eye. Head over to GOHUNT.com, check it out. Don't forget to use the code WESTERN and start getting your e-scouting plans together because it's going to be hunting season before you know it. You can go through knives really fast, the dull out fast. So what I do is I use the serrated blade to cut through the hide to take my initial first couple cuts and maybe some of the bigger tendons, and it just cuts through like butter, and it saves my other two blades for other things that I want to be sharp. So if I'm skinning, pulling that hide back, I'll take the serrated blade off, I'll put on the medium blade, and I will skin that sucker down, and then I save my long blade sometimes for when I'm butchering, and that stays sharpest the longest. It's a great system. I love this. It packs down incredibly small and light. You can see here we got the carrying case, so all three blades fit in there, and then the handle snaps in. It's super small and lightweight. Like I said, it's the best knife I've ever seen, and I personally use this knife for Western hunting or any hunting. I still use it for whitetail. It's a phenomenal knife, and it'll be a great gift for anyone that you're shopping for that's hunting. I love it. I really do. That's one that I've really, really liked over the years. The next one's kind of in the same theme, but the Work Sharp guided field sharpener. I use this for my broadheads. I use this for my knives in the kitchen. I use this all the time. It's got a 20-degree guide, so you can make sure you're at the right angle. It's a gift for someone that's like, maybe they got a really fancy knife, or maybe they got something else they like, but it's also really lightweight, so it's easy to throw, whether you sharpen at camp, you throw it in your pack, tune some knives up. Super lightweight. It comes with 3 different surfaces. So a coarse surface, a fine surface, the leather, and you can also do ceramic for, I even sharpen serrated blades. So the knife we just showed, you don't throw those blades away when you're done with them. You just sharpen them back up and they're good to go again. So I love this. I have this myself. Really like it. It also puts a phenomenally sharp edge on broadhead. So if you're shopping for an archery hunter, this could be a great system for them as well. One of the things I do is these ceramic plates, or those metal plates, kind of pop off, and there's a broadhead tightener inside of it actually. And like you see there, someone's sharpening a broadhead. But you can cut like a 4-inch section of an old arrow off, and you can keep that stored in there, and then you can thread on your broadhead to like a 4-inch section of a arrow shaft, and have a little bit of a handle for sharpening broadheads. Works phenomenally well. Great gift, great dice game gift. If you've got a dice game, it's like $35. a really handy tool to keep in mind for whoever you're shopping for. Next, I'm going to a tool. This Leatherman Signal. My wife actually has this. This was our wedding gift. She got a Signal. I got a Leatherman 300, but the Signal is specifically intended for more of that backpacking, hunting, outdoors mindset. So there's a couple cool features. First of all, it comes with a carabiner clip, so you can clip it onto the outside of your pack. Super cool feature. It has a fire starter, a striker in there. You can see it in this picture here. You can see the ferro rod. That's super cool. And then the other thing it has is it has a hex, a 1/4-inch hex drive. So if you get some of the bits that come with it, you can then do any type of work you need to on your bow, on equipment, because you basically have at that point like a socket wrench. Super cool. And then it's got all the knives, bottle openers, screwdriver, pliers that you would expect from a Leatherman product. So I really love this gift. This is a great multi-tool. It's a little bit more expensive, but super thoughtful gift for anyone. And this could be someone that's like, I don't even, like my dad doesn't really hunt that much, but he's always tinkering in the shop. These are a go-to. Super cool item there. Can fit for anyone. Next up, the Black Diamond Icon 700. Abby actually runs this headlamp, and I can tell you firsthand, this headlamp is incredibly bright. We blood trailed with this headlamp. I used to have like some smaller, cheaper headlamps, and I thought they were fine until Abby got this for Christmas last year and started using it. And my gosh, this thing is bright. It's got the battery pack in the back. Comes with the green, red, blue. That's really cool. But it is super, super bright. So if you've got anyone that's in the outdoors, they probably have a headlamp, but they probably don't have a headlamp this good. So keep this in mind. That's a great item for anyone, even ice fishing. Run a lot of headlamps. You're always fishing in the dark a lot. Great product for a lot of different people. Excuse me. Just had to take a caffeine break. So moving right along. Great episode so far. Great products. The GOHUNT Pack Out Game Bag Set. Now, here's one I put on here that I have not personally used yet. And so I want to give that, that honesty and that transparency. I have not used this set of game bags. I have used a lot of other game bags. And so I've probably used 6 or 7 different brands and variety of game bags in my career. I think I've used about 30 game bags this fall already. And so I can confidently say I really am interested in this, and I'm really looking forward to this one. And there's a couple reasons why. First of all, this game bag set comes with 5 bags instead of 4 bags, meaning you got one dedicated bag for each quarter, and then they've got a smaller bag. That is the key missing ingredient with a lot of other game bags. You typically do need 5 game bags. So here's why. Especially like, let's go with an elk. You put a front quarter in one, or rear quarter in one, same thing on the other side. Well, a bull elk is going to have probably 80 pounds of trim meat between the neck, the back straps, the tenderloins, rib meat, brisket. Where do you put that meat? Now, for me, I kind of stuff it in some of the other bags, but you really usually want those steaks to be out first. You know, a lot of times you get back to camp, you want to cook those steaks up right away, those back straps, the tenderloins. Having those in a separate bag like they have here, super cool feature. Second cool feature about these things is they have the handles on them. Every time you have a game bag, you want to hang that up. You want that to be off the ground. You want airflow. Most game bags don't have a handle, so you're always stuck with like, how do I tie this off? These ones have a handle, super easy. I read through these. These handles are rated for 100 pounds, which means they probably tested them a lot higher than 100 pounds. And there's not a big game animal in the lower 48 that's going to have bigger than 100-pound quarters, especially bone out. Maybe a giant moose, a Shira's moose, a giant one, but even then, 100 pounds is very heavy. The heaviest quarter I've ever weighed is 82 pounds, so these will be golden. Third feature that's really cool is they come with the Tyvek bag, a carry case for your game bags. So you don't have loose game bags running around in your pack. I have that exact bag, actually, the small black Tyvek GOHUNT bag. I love it. It's a great feature to have this all integrated in a simple kit. They also come with the orange gloves. That's it's cool, but you'll replace them right away anyway. And so super cool set, cinches down. These are reused. So if you're worried, like, well, yeah, but I don't want to get somebody a one-time thing. Like once they shoot an animal, they get all bloody. Don't you throw them away? No, you don't throw these away. You wash them. They come out brand new looking. You can even throw some iron out in them or whatever. These are reusable. Game bags are reusable. I've reused game bags many, many times. So this is a great gift for anyone that hunts. These are high quality game bags. I would recommend getting the elk set. It's like $5 more than the deer set. But if you get the elk set, you can always use them on a deer. If you get the deer set, you might not be able to use them on an elk. And so I would just recommend getting the elk set. I always buy elk game bags no matter what I'm doing because they work for basically everything. Next up, Jetboil Mini Mow. We have a Jetboil Mini Mow. We actually bought it this year for our Wyoming hunt, and they work phenomenally well. So especially if whoever you're shopping for doesn't yet have a Jetboil for cooking out in the field, super cool gift. And the Mini Mow is a great size. It packs down well, but it also has that integrated connection point and the insulation with the heat rings, so you don't waste as much fuel. I've used a couple different versions of these are called backpacking stoves. And the Jetboil Mini Mow would be my new favorite go-to. You can also use like pans on these. A lot of times they're meant for like a mountain house or a peak refuel bag where you boil some water, put it in a dehydrated food bag, seal it up, wait 10 minutes, and you got a dinner. I've actually like fried eggs on these too, with just a little tiny pan. So super versatile cooking system. In Wyoming, we actually only brought Jetboils for cooking. We cooked everything. My wife made coffee. We made our breakfast. We made dinners. Everything we cooked it on these. Super cool item. Next up, Alaska Guide Creations. This is my favorite bino harness. I've had one of these for years. I think probably 10 years I'm going on with the Alaska Guide Creations bino harness. I've seen a lot of bino harnesses. This one's probably my favorite, and it's favorite for a couple of reasons. Number one, great bino harness. Number two, it's got the rangefinder pouch in the front. It's got pockets on the side, so I can put wind indicator, my rangefinder, elk calls. I have tags that I can slip in the back. There's a zipper in the back right here that you can put your tags in. I have wind indicator and face paint that I slip in the top little shelf where there's some elastic fabric that you can tuck stuff under. The reason I like this is I can put everything I actually need to tag a deer or an elk on that. So if I drop my pack, I still have everything I need to. Summer is finally here, which means hunting season is also going to be here before we know it. So now is the perfect time to be trimming lanes, planting food plots, and putting up some new stands so you're ready when those big bucks start cruising this fall. And if you've been thinking about putting up a new stand on your property, I can tell you it has never been easier with the combination of Maverick hunting blinds and their all-new Elevate platforms. I've got both on my property, and one of my favorite things about the Booner panel blind and the Elevate platform is how easy it is to set them up. Building a deer stand used to be a multiple weekend project for me before, but now with this Booner panel blind and Elevate platform, I can have a new stand up in just one day. I can even get these into every part of my property because they're super light and easy to assemble, yet rock solid when you're on top of that platform. Make sure you roll into this fall confident and ready for those big bucks because you know you got your stand set up and ready to rock well before season even started. Head over to MaverickHunting.com to check out all the options and see why I'm such a huge fan of hunting out of these Maverick platform blinds. And when you check out using the code Western Rookie, you're going to save 10% on your entire purchase. Successfully take an animal. I put electrical tape on one side. I put a couple rounds, spare rounds on the other side. It's a great system. I really like it. It's my favorite all-around bino harness they make. Good for anyone that maybe doesn't have a bino harness, or if they're still using like the box set bino harness. Like sometimes if you order Vortex binos, they'll send you like their very basic entry-level bino harness. Or if someone's just using straps for their bino harness, get them one of these. These will be super cool. Next up, we got the Ollin Snapshot spotter system. They make a bino system too. I actually had Nathan Goodworth on my other podcast, the 2 Bucks podcast, episode number 2, way back when. who is the founder of Ollin, talking about how he founded the company. But this is the best spotting scope system that I've ever seen. It looks very simple. You might be thinking like, well, what is it? What it is this piece here goes on the spotting scope, and then you get a phone case that you snap on, and what happens is it's magnetic. So if you have someone that hunts in the West, scouts ducks, scouts deer, window spotter, they can easily snap their cell phone on and take amazing videos without having to line this up. The reason why this one's better than the others is because this one has magnets. A lot of the other ones, you put a big piece on your phone and then you got to cinch it on your optic. And when you do that, you mess up your optic. You bump it, now you got to find it again. This one right here, best I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of them. This one is a tricky one because you have to find out what optic the person you're buying for has, because they're size dependent. But they got a whole list of options here. A lot of the standards, like I have the Leupold SX2, SX4 is a really popular spotting scope. The Vortex Viper, Vortex Diamondback are very popular scopes. So you just have to figure out what scope they have, and then you also have to figure out what phone they have, because you got to get the phone case part of it too. It's a two-part system. You can get both halves on GOHUNT. This is another great item. You can save 10% when you use the code Western. Super cool. All right, moving right around. The Mystery Ranch Pack Fly. This is another good item for maybe a dice game, maybe a more distant relative that you got to find something for. You can get these in different colors, but it's a rainproof cover for your pack. So if it starts raining, you pop it out, put it on your pack. All your stuff stays dry. It's super lightweight. I have one of these. I leave it in my pack. The only time I really take it out is if I'm like antelope hunting in Wyoming where it hasn't rained in 3 years. But every elk hunt I've gone on, I've pulled it out since I got it because I use it all the time. So another really cool item could be a dice game, white elephant, Secret Santa gift. You can get the Blaze or the brown. I'd probably lean on brown if you don't know for sure, because I typically don't wear Blaze. I wouldn't have used the Blaze. I have more of a camo or a brown, a little bit more subtle. That's the way I would go if I was buying this for someone. And then last up for the general hunting is, and this one isn't on GOHUNT, this is the Alps Mountaineering Ultralight Tarp Shelter. I have this. I have a different color though, but what this is it's about the same weight as the Pack Fly. It weighs almost nothing. But if you get into like a downpour, you can set this up in just like a minute and you crawl underneath this sucker and you stay dry. You could probably, if you really wanted to, you could put 4 people under it. We always ran it with me and a buddy, and we could like lay it down, take a nap, stay perfectly dry. When it stops raining, you take it down quick, roll it up, put it in your pack, and you're off again, chasing bugles or mule deer or whatever it is. Super versatile. This is another good thing. Like for the person that seems like they have everything, they probably don't have one of these. So this is another great item if you don't know what to get somebody. And that really, that is our list of items for general hunting. So a lot of the things you can find in the GOHUNT gear shop. It's a wonderful place to find almost any type of gear that you could possibly need for Western hunting. And if you shop in the GOHUNT gear shop, remember to use the code Western. You're going to save 10% on most of the regular priced items. A lot of them are on sale already for Black Friday. So if you act fast, you might be able to actually get better deals with Black Friday. But even if you don't, you can always use the Western code to save 10%. So that is our general hunting list. Let's bring it over now to archery. I got to find the archery window. So archery is a little bit tricky because bows are so specific. Bows, arrows, and broadheads are so specific. Everyone has their preference. So a lot of you probably know this. It's very hard to shop for archery products for somebody because everything is specific and it's personal preference. And so I went through and I found 6 ideas that you could basically get anyone, and they're going to appreciate them. Number 1, here we go. Number 1, a Baker archery bow vise. I actually had the founder of Baker Archery on our other show, the TWOBUCKS podcast, is where I got this. This is a little bit more expensive. This is probably maybe more like a spouse, a very close family member. But the nice thing about this is no matter what bow they shoot, no matter what they do, they could always benefit from a bow vise. This is like what the archery shops have to tweak and modify their bows. It can also be used for a ton of other things. You can put a blanket or a towel in it and clamp a gun down if you're going to be cleaning a gun, mounting a scope. It's not like a shop vise where you're going to be really torquing on this thing, but it's great as a tinkering vise if you just want to hold something still and hold something level. So this is a great item. I actually have one. The Baker Archery team sent me one. I have to open it up and do a full demo with it, but an awesome product. It could kind of go either way. It's really more for archery, but it could be used, like I said, for rifles. Anytime you're just like tinkering with something, you want to keep it steady. It's a great product. You can pretty much add it to any bench. Another one. This one is back to maybe more of a dice game gift, a white elephant gift. The Pine Ridge Archery Quick Stand Bow Stand. I have this exact one. I actually have a special, oh, here's mine right there. I have a special red, white, and blue American version. It's very modular, so you can fit almost any bow with it. And what you do is you put it on the bottom of the bow so you can, and that's actually my bow right there. You can snap it on quick and set your bow down. So like if you're shooting in the backyard, you don't want to lay your bow down in the grass. You don't want to lay it down on the cement. You can put this on quick and you can set it down. You can shoot with it on. It doesn't really affect your shot, especially if you keep it way at the, the top side of your limbs there. And the archer you're buying this for will obviously know all these things. You don't have to know all the details, but it's very adjustable to fit almost any bow. Super nice. I always have mine in my bow bag. I'm shooting 3D League. I shoot, I snap it on quick, set my bow down. It keeps your bow standing upright. Mine's actually sitting with it on in the other room right now. That's how I store my bow all the time, so I don't have to hang it on the wall or anything like that. Super useful. Great gift for almost any archer. They may or may not have one of these already, but this is a gift where you're like really thinking it. That's the hard part. You want a gift that you really put some thought into, and then you're like, wow, I didn't even know you knew this. And they're like, yeah. You don't have to tell them you found out about it at the Western Rookie Podcast. So great gift for anyone. Another great gift for anyone, back to Go Hunt. This is another item. Like if you don't make it in time for Black Friday, you could use the Western and still save 10%. The Go Hunt compound bow sling, it looks a little goofy. I'm not going to lie. Right? You're kind of thinking like, is that really, it looks kind of like flimsy, tedious. What it does and what's very important is it protects your sight housing. It protects your broadheads and your quiver. And it protects your bowstring. So it does those three things. Plus it also gives you a good way to carry your bow. So this would be for like people that do a lot of Western hunting, do a lot of backpacking hunting. It gives them an easier way to carry their bow in and out. Maybe even just private land whitetails. It's raining and they want to cover up their bow a little bit. It can be very popular for this. So one of the reasons I have this, so I've worn out strings before because, walking through the brush, it just wears on everything. I've also lost arrows before because this is where your fletchings would be. And that can get caught on stuff and literally pull an arrow right out of your quiver. And sometimes you don't notice it. I lost an arrow in Montana. To this day, I have no idea where it went. So that's just what this could be used for. Could be another dice game gift. It's real simple, entry-level bow gift. And sometimes it just gets annoying carrying your bow on your fingers for 3 days. Like it sounds funny. I get it. But you carry your bow around by the string for 3 days, it starts to like wear into your fingers. It's almost like the same as like learning to play guitar. That first week, your fingertips hurt. So that's another idea. Now, this next idea, this is a secret. I'm really sharing with you guys a secret. I don't know how I discovered this. Kind of feel a little bit like I'm giving away the keys to the farm here. And everyone's going to laugh because it's very simple. The top hat screw-in steel point. I love having my Arctic Ultra Tough 110 and Ultra Tough 145 coolers available when I go elk hunting or when I'm on a big 9-day western hunt, knowing that I can keep all of my food cold on the way out and during the hunt, and all of that delicious wild game chilled the entire way back home. But there's things in life I don't want to be lugging around a 110 quart cooler for. And that is where I have been absolutely loving my Arctic Ultra Light Series 72 quart cooler on wheels. This cooler is my new go-to anytime we're going to the lake for the weekend, going on a short fishing trip, or just need to keep some stuff chilled. It's on wheels that are puncture proof, heavy duty, the handle is rigid and absolutely rock solid. There's even a cargo net in the lid for all your condiments. You can put dividers in there to separate your beverages from your meat, from your snacks. This cooler does it all. And it is so light and easy to transport. Finally, it's effortless to bring a large, high-quality cooler with you anywhere you go that's going to keep ice just as long as any brand out there at a fraction of the price. Go check it out for yourself, and you're going to see exactly why I throw the Arctic 72 quart on wheels in the pickup anytime I'm looking for a cooler. Field tips, field points. So these are your target tips, for if you're shopping for an archer. This is like what they shoot in their target all summer long. The reason why these ones are the best: number one, they're very aerodynamic. Number two, they come with an O-ring. And if you're an archer, you know that every shot you got to tighten your field tips. You shoot, they're loose. You shoot, they're loose. They rattle if you don't. Everyone knows this. You will not have to tighten these ever again. I shoot this exact point. These are phenomenal. So if you're shopping for someone that's not yourself, it can be tricky because you have to get the weight right. I will say 90% of people are shooting 100 grain tips, though. So just go with the 100 grain. If they're not right, save the receipt. You can get these. I have these in 175s and 250s. I think you can get them in 200s as well. These, I don't understand how anyone has a non-top hat field tip anymore. Just because they have that O-ring, I've had these for years and I've never had to tighten them up. Also, I did an iron buck challenge last year in 3D League where you try to shoot, and if you miss the little circle, you hit a steel plate and it breaks your arrow, but you get more points if you hit. I shot an arrow into one of these. That tip stuck in the steel. I have a picture of it. Stuck in the steel. It bent tiny bit. My arrow, the insert on my arrow bent a tiny bit. But the point is, these are incredibly rugged. Awesome product. It's very cheap, very affordable. Get the 5/16 100 grain. That's the standard size that everyone pretty much has. At 9/32, it's just like a micro smidgen narrower, but I would get the 5/16 100 grain. If you don't know, just roll with that. If it's not right, save the receipt. But this is a great dice game gift if you have a bunch of archers in your family. All right, next up, Painted Arrow Mag Pro Plus. This is a cool one, and there's another one where we had the Painted Arrow guys on the TWOBUCKS podcast, and you can hear their story as well. But what it is it's an add-on to their stabilizer that allows them to put their phone on a magnet and film their hunts, film their experiences. Super cool. It's the easiest way to get into self-filming. Whether you want to become the next YouTube star or the outdoor TV star, or you just want to be like, hey, look at this buck I saw the other day. Super cool product. I really like it. Not much to say there, but it's a great little gift if you're like, he's into boning, but he's pretty much got everything. Probably doesn't have this. Another one of those. And then the last one that can be one of those, like he's pretty much got everything. Get him a digital archery scale. So I use mine all the time, just verifying weights, checking arrows, making sure things are the same weight, because the weight can drastically affect the differences between how your arrows will fly. So real simple gift, $30, not going to break the bank. Great gift for like an uncle, cousin, sister-in-law, whatever it is that shoots some bows. So that's the archery gift list that I have. I'm going to take another quick caffeine break here. 1 second, folks. I mute the I mute myself when I do that because I got a Yeti tumbler with ice in it. It's going to be really loud. So those are our archery items. Should be something you can get almost any archer and it will fit in their system. Archery is really tough because everything is so specific, the bows, the accessories, everything. Unless they give you a direct link of like, this is the new release I want, it can be really hard to shop for an archer. So those are some ideas that should fit in for anyone. Next up, we have the same thing for rifle hunters. So big game rifle hunters. I've got a whole boatload of ideas for people for rifle that if you're shopping for a rifle hunter. All right. First one up is coming at you now. The Kifaru Gun Bear. I use this. I got one for my brother. It's we're seeing a picture of a pack, but it's this bottom rubber boot and this strap up here. What it is for, it holds your gun, your rifle, in a really safe and really easy to access spot, kind of right under your arm. So it shoots, the butt of your rifle goes in that bottom boot, the top strap goes around your rifle, and it keeps your gun underneath your arm with the muzzle pointed up, and it's also always in your line of sight, so you can always see it. So that meaning, if you have your gun on a sling, it's behind you. You can, like, if you leaned over to tie your shoe, you can't see what your gun is pointing at. Up in front of you, you bend over to tie your shoe, you can see it's pointing exactly in front of you. You can see exactly where it's pointing and make sure you're pointed in a safe direction, not pointed at anyone. The other thing that's nice is it's underneath your arm, which means if you fall, your optic is going to be protected by your arm. You're going to fall, around it, instead of if it's on the outside and you fall. First of all, your gun's probably going to fall off your sling and bounce on the ground. Second of all, you're going to land on your optic with nothing protecting it on the ground. Third, it is hands-free, which is the reason I love it. You can walk around hands-free. You can walk around with walking poles. You can just have your hands free. You can be looking at things in your binos. And then you just pull this one rope real fast. It unbuckles the system. The gun falls into your hands, and you can be out, I think, faster than having your gun with a shoulder strap. So personally, I use this. I didn't even buy a sling for my new rifle. I just use this. It's phenomenal. And it will fit with almost anyone that you're shopping for. So this system right here, I think it's like $50. Is that what Kifaru said? I don't have any codes at Kifaru. We did have Aaron Snyder on the Western Rookie podcast. It was a phenomenal episode, and Aaron is a phenomenal guy. He's the founder of Kifaru. But you can get left hand, right hand, or you can get for a Kifaru pack, or the other is the universal. So that is a little bit more expensive, I think. But if they don't have a Kifaru pack, you can get the universal system. That's the system I have. Awesome product. Highly recommend. Next up, we have the GOHUNT Essential Rifle Comfort. So back to GOHUNT. If you, like I said before, if you missed the Black Friday sale, you can still get 10% off on this as well. The GOHUNT Essential Rifle Color is awesome because it does three things. First of all, it protects your optic from the weather. It protects your muzzle from the weather. So if it's raining, you're walking through brush, it's wet, you're not going to get water in your scope, you're not going to get water down your barrel. But the third thing that it does is it actually has the same effect as the Kifaru rifle bearer. You can actually hang it on your pack just like the gun bearer. And so I actually think this is maybe even a better all-in-one system than the Kifaru. I just don't have it. That's why I put both up there. I do have the Kifaru, and I absolutely love that. This one looks very interesting, and I probably would have bought this if this product was developed at the same time. It just wasn't developed as fast. So that being said, you can do either way. Here's like a version without the gun bearer, and that's actually the same rifle that I have. Here's a one with the rifle cover. So very cool product. Great for almost anyone that hunts with a gun. They probably don't have it yet, so it's a really good option. Back down to maybe like that white elephant dice game level. Stocking stuffer, the GOHUNT glassing pad. So when you're rifle hunting, a lot of times you're spending a lot of time glassing, and it's just nice to have a glassing pad. Don't get cactuses in your butt. No one loves that. The nice thing about these ones is they fold up like an accordion, which is a lot easier to integrate into your pack and carry around compared to maybe like the thermorest or the thermoseats that you might have in your whitetail stand. The big foam square, those do not pack well. That's what I use now. I wish I had this. And so great option for just kind of at any level. All right. Fourth up, we have the this is more of a generic. I'm showing you the Walker's Game Ear, but just a generic in-ear electronic hearing protection. The reason why this is so important is we're getting into muzzle brakes, big calibers, and it's becoming more and more important to, people are realizing how important it is to hunt with hearing protection. Like, you save your hearing. No one wants to be the person that can't hear a thing, that needs hearing aids at 30 years old. And these are a cool option because you can hunt with these in your ear the entire time, that you can hear everything. That's why they're electronic. But when all of a sudden that loud noise hits, they cut out the hearing protection, or they cut out the electronic hearing, and now you have the noise dampening. Walker's got a few. I know there's other brands out there. I don't have any yet, so you might want to just do your own research. But it's a great idea for whoever you're shopping for that's big into rifle hunting. It could also be shotgun hunting. Waterfall guys, upland bird guys, trap shooters, shooting sports people. Could be a great option for almost anyone. So just keep that one in mind. And then the last one I have is the Rugged Ridge rear support system. We've talked about this. We actually just had Jaden Miller on the podcast, and we talked about long-range shooting and how important it is to have a rear support. So what this does is it goes on the back of your rifle when you're shooting prone, which is the best, the most accurate position to shoot from. You can put this underneath your rear of the rifle, and it holds it steady. And when you put a rear support on, whether it's a bag, a backpack, your hand, whatever it is, drastically increases your accuracy. This model has like 4 different height settings. It's lightweight, it's small, it packs in really well. And so you can bring it with you anywhere, pull it out, set it up, and you're off to the races. Here's a picture of the 4 different heights that it offers. Super cool thing for anyone. This is something I guarantee the rifle hunter in your family does not have. So awesome product there. And that's kind of that wraps up the rifle specific items. Now, I did want to go and add a couple whitetail gifts because I know a lot of our listeners are like primarily whitetail hunters. And so I have one last list, set of lists to go through. If you're shopping for someone, you're like, yeah, they kind of talk about, hunting, but they don't really go out west that much. They're big whitetail hunters. Here's a couple ideas I got for them as well. Number 1, we are going with here we are, the XOP Mutant Saddle. So this is for anyone that hunts. If you're the person you're shopping for, hunts a lot of public land, a lot of run and gun. Saddle hunting is a cool way to do that. I use this saddle. My wife uses this saddle. It's super cool. This is actually, I'm guessing, yeah, I believe that's one of my buddies, Tom, in the picture. But it's a great saddle. Goes with run and gun. So you can also use this saddle with their current tree stands, whatever they have. You can use any platform you want. So for $119 is a good option to get into saddle hunting because it'll come with the 3 ropes, or the 3 ropes you need: the bridge, the tether, and the linements. So if your husband, your brother, your dad, whatever, if they are a mobile public land run and gun hunter, you can get a mutant saddle, and they can face away from the tree or face into the tree. I have been using this even on private land, and I like it more than a tree stand because I can swing around. It's more comfortable. I can sit longer, and I have a wider angle that I can shoot because I can swing around the tree. So I really like it. It's a really cool thing. I would recommend this saddle to anyone. I've really enjoyed using it. And then with that, the X2 sticks from from X2 XOP. I love these sticks. It's the X2s. You can either get a set of 4 or you can get a single pack. Both are great options. The set of 4, I love this stick. I'm using them with aiders. So I only need 2 sticks, so then I could have 2 setups. If you got a 4-pack, super cool stick, very lightweight. I really love it. So that's an idea for almost anyone. The other thing, obviously, trail cameras. Every whitetail hunter wants a trail camera. Let me say that again. Every whitetail hunter would love a trail camera for Christmas. You might think it's boring. You might think he already has some. You might think she already has plenty. Doesn't matter. They still want another one. Every whitetail hunter wants another trail camera. That's it. I really like these. We use them. Everyone in my family is using the reveals. We actually also have the solar panels that you can get for these. I would recommend getting them a solar panel too, especially if the property, whoever you're shopping for, hunts is a little far away, 2 hours away at the family farm or whatever. We have these out in the field that have been running for about 2.5 years now on solar panels alone. Works great. Don't have to check batteries. Great option. I just have the Reveal X 2.0s, $100. Very simple. I think you can get the solar panel kit for another $50-$60. It's a great option no matter who you're shopping for. If they're a whitetail hunter, they want another trail camera. All right, moving right along. This is a very interesting one. So those first two, the XOP Mutant and the XOP X2s, that's a great option for like a public land hunter. If the person you're shopping for hunts primarily public, always setting up, always tearing down, great option. Can still be used on private land for sure. Now I got a couple private land options as well. The licking stick system from Hodeg. What this is it's a spring bracket that you put in the ground and you cut off a tree and you can plant like a tree koi. Now, I understand if you're not a whitetail hunter and you're not a private land whitetail hunter, like if you're a spouse and you're shopping for your significant other, you could be like, what the heck? This sounds like the stupidest thing. It's actually very good. It's a very cool product. You can plant these trees on this system, and what the key is that you can put it 22 yards away from your stand, and it's like a magnet. It'll pull that buck when he comes into your food plot. It'll pull him right to that tree to either lick that branch or rub on it, and you can really set up a nice, easy shot. It's phenomenal. I use these all the time. They work really, really good. So this is a version to plant a licking branch in the ground, like a stick. They also have a version here that is like adding a licking branch to a tree. So it kind of just depends. If the person you're buying for has a lot of food plots, the licking stick could be great. If they hunt a lot of deep timber, the licking branch could be great. And so this is like you have here, they got that licking stick, giant buck, obviously, licking that off, but you put that around the tree, take a branch, cut it, put it in the spring. The spring is important because it gives it that natural movement that they would expect out of a live living branch. And then you can also go and get the hemp scent rope system. What this is it's a hemp rope that you can put more scent into, and that it holds more scent than a normal natural branch would hold. And so it's really powerful for scrapes, bringing in more bucks. I have a whole archive full of trail camera pictures of big bucks on our farms using these because I use hemp ropes everywhere. So those are a lot of cool ideas for anyone that whitetail hunts as well. So that is kind of the list I had as far as things, physical items to get someone that you're shopping for this Christmas. Now, I've got a little bit more nuanced idea that I want to share with people. If you have someone that you're shopping for, especially if they're a significant other, if you're shopping for your husband, your fiance, your boyfriend, your dad, your uncle, and they've always wanted to go out west hunting, but they haven't yet, you could always get them a point. We talk about it all the time on the podcast. You need points most of the time to hunt animals in the West. There's only a few considerations that you don't need a point for. and they're getting harder and harder to come by. So if you've got an uncle that's always wanted to do a mule deer hunt, you can go get them a Colorado mule deer point for $40 if they don't, especially if they don't already have an account. If they have an account, it gets a little trickier because you had to, like, you know, sign into your account and stuff. But if they don't have an account, you can create an account for them. You'll need a little bit of information like driver's license or something like that. So it could go, like, you know, it could be a little bit more than people want to go through to get them a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. But a point is an excellent gift because it's almost like a gift that's an investment in their future. So you can get them an elk point, a moose point, antelope point, a mule deer point. There's a bunch of different states. I think it's a great idea, personally, if someone in your life has always been wanting to hunt the West, but doesn't know where to start, doesn't know how to get into it. First of all, share the Western Rookie podcast with them because we'll get them along the journey as well. But second, maybe buy them a point. And if you want to do that and you don't know where to start or where to go, reach out to me. I'll be happy to help. I'll be happy to say which states and which species and which points I recommend. My core for, if you're doing this, it's probably for someone that doesn't hunt the West yet. And so I would say stick to one of 3 states or maybe all 3 states: Colorado, Wyoming, Montana. Those are the only 3 states you should worry about at the beginning for building points. You know, if they've always wanted to go on an elk hunt, you could pick any of the 3. If they want to do a mule deer hunt, pick Wyoming, pick Montana, pick Colorado, whatever you want. If antelope, Wyoming. If they want to do an antelope hunt, just buy them a Wyoming point. I think it's a great idea. I wish more people would do it. I wish more people would buy someone a point and expose someone to Western hunting, share the podcast with them, and help someone's journey to becoming a Western hunter. So there you have it, folks. That is the first annual Western Rookie Christmas episode. I wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've found any secret Christmas gift ideas for the hunter or the fisherman in your life, because it's hard. It's not easy. It's not easy to find gifts for people that already go out and pretty much get the gear they need. So let us know what you thought. Let us know if you got any cool ideas. Maybe they'll make it on next year's annual Christmas list. And with that, thank you for listening.